G'day folks, how are you today? It's Jimmy again with another one of these videos on my tips for the music industry, how to avoid pitfalls, all that sort of stuff. So let's have another chat today. Let's go now! Okay, so today, on today's video, this will be a very interesting one. I'm interested in some feedback on this and see what people think. I'm going to talk about being in a band. Being in a band. It's a big topic, open to a lot of conversation. So, as I always say, I am not the be-all and end-all and know-it-all of the music industry. But I've been around a long time and I've learnt a lot of stuff along the way, and I'm just trying to give some tips and advice to bands who are starting out, coming through, young, whatever. And no doubt there'll be a few people watching this that are musicians themselves and in bands themselves and may well have different opinions to me. And that's fine, that's good. But add your comments in and let's talk about it. So today, talking about being in a band. Now, again, this is just my opinion. But I think if you want to be in a successful band and get somewhere, make some money from your music, become popular, and do really well in the industry, okay, then your band is not just a band, okay? It's a business. If you're happy just to play gigs and get pissed with your mates and have fun and just do music as a hobby, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is awesome. How good is it to get on a stage and perform to people that are watching you? It is fantastic, okay? It's the ultimate, for me anyway, and I think for all of us that are musicians. That's great. If you want to be just a band that just goes out to the pub, gets pissed and plays, good on ya. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But don't expect to get success unless you're extremely lucky. Unless there's someone out there in the crowd that's from somewhere important in the industry that's watching you and comes up to you and goes, "Oh, I love it, you guys are great, let's go," right? Which is, I think, is what used to happen in the, in the 60s and 70s and probably 80s as well. That's great, good on you if that happens, but more than likely it's not going to happen, okay? Let's be honest. If you actually want a career with your band, or if you're a solo artist, or whatever your setup is, you've got to realize that ultimately you are running a small business, okay? Whether you want to think like that or not, if you want to get somewhere, that's what it is. You're running a small business. And I think your band is your brand, okay? Something ideal that I think that if I was young and coming through and wanted to get somewhere, I am still young. People say I'm old, but I'm not. But anyway, if I wanted to get somewhere, I think it would be a really good idea to do a small business course. And if you can, an online, multimedia, social media course. Now that is probably way outside the thought process of a lot of people out there. But I think ultimately, if you want to be successful, you have to start thinking about not just your band and your music and your gigs, but you've got to be thinking of it from a business point of view, because your ultimate aim is to keep the band going and keep putting out albums and releasing and touring and all that sort of stuff. And to do all of that, I've said it before, you've got to have some money coming in. And the only way you can do that is to get your music out, promoting your band and your music and get people interested. And you've got to know how to do that. And it is like running a small business, whether you like it or not, it is. You may not agree, but that's how I see it these days. I think you should learn about businesses, learn how businesses work, small businesses, not big corporations. It doesn't have to be a big corporation. Small business stuff. You got to learn how they make money, how they become popular, how they sustain long-term stability, income, and ultimately success. Okay, it's all relevant. I really do believe that. I think if you, because you have to spend money and take risks in this industry to make money, and that in turn then helps you to keep your band moving forward. Okay, you've got to run your band like a business, and I think you've got to make certain that all the members of your band understand that and want to be a part of it. If you've got 5 band members or 4 band members or whatever, and only 2 of them are the ones that are really engaged and want to make it work, you may need outside people to come in and help you, because really you need all your band members on the same page. And as I've said in one of the previous videos, a lot of times that doesn't happen. You might have 5 guys or girls, and 2 of them might be gung-ho and going for it, and the other guys not quite there, not quite there, not sure of what to do, and confidence and experience and all that stuff. So I think you need, that's where your outside people come in. So you can have a look at a PR company, management, really keen friends, family, fans that can become involved, but not too many. Okay, the old adage, too many cooks spoil the broth, or whatever it is. You've got to be careful who you use and how many people you use. Okay, there'll be lots of people out there that want to help you, but not many of those people have the experience in how the industry works, and most of the time those people will end up hindering you and causing you more problems. So don't use them, okay? Or instead of saying, no, I don't want your help, or finding a way to be nice about it to them, think about something that for them to help you with, that that they'll enjoy doing and that they'll put the time and effort into it and be good at, okay? And so a lot of people will come up to you, friends and fans and stuff, that'll say, oh, I want to help your band get gigs and do this, but they've never done it before. And you say to them, yeah, no worries, go for it. Go get us a gig here, try get us gigs here and here. And they've got no idea. And in the end, they'll end up stuffing it up. Not deliberately, but just because they don't have the experience or the knowledge. And the other thing, if you're getting people involved, you're asking them to put in their time. And, a lot of people might be really excited about it at the start and go for it, but if they don't see results straight away, they'll drop off. And then it's going to fall back to you to start doing it again. So you need to be careful who you let into your inner circle to help your band out. But there are so many great people out there that just want to help, and that's awesome. But yeah, be careful with that. But more importantly, I really do believe this. You need to think of your band as a small business and a brand, okay? Because you want to get your name out, your image out into the public eye, good gigs, your videos that I've spoken about beforehand, all that sort of stuff. So be careful how you do it. And as I said, if you want to do it amateur and just play gigs and have fun, nothing wrong with that. But if you actually want to get somewhere and get successful, start to think more about the business side of it. And so many of us don't want to do that, okay? Because all we want to do is sit back and write music. That's what we're good at. We're good at writing music and recording and playing gigs and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to get somewhere, so if you want to get overseas and get on big festivals and, playing big gigs overseas, getting interviews and media and all that sort of stuff, you've got to think about the business side of the industry. Small business course would be fantastic. I think people would learn a lot. Social media courses, online media, all that sort of stuff is another thing. It's a tough industry, but I think if more people out there started to think like that and use those tools, it may well start to help more bands understand how to get themselves out there and how to make some money and ultimately become a musician who is, like a self-employed musician. You can play music full time. And there's no reason why you can't do that. It's a tough industry, but you can, but you've got to have the tools and the knowledge to be able to do it properly and successfully. And I think just relying on, oh, I'm in a band and I play songs at, you know, whatever bar it is, that's awesome. But to get somewhere, start thinking, start using your brains and look at a business situation. That's today's tip. I'm really interested to see what people think about that. So please subscribe, put your comments in below. Let's try and help out some young bands and up and coming bands with some advice. I know there's a lot of people out there with a lot of knowledge and heaps of people out there that got way more knowledge than what I've got. So the aim of these videos is to help people out. And if you've got some other advice and ideas around the business side of things, put them in the comments, let people know. Let's start a discussion. And I'll have another tip coming up real soon. Cheers. See ya.